decade, it's resulted in more
wildfires rage throughout.
Is warming quick
reports as community
events of the coral.
So how much of a role has climate change played in this extreme weather?
Climate change, a word we often heard in our life, but do you really know what it is? So
climate change refers to long-term alterations in temperature, precipitation, wind, and other elements of the Earth climate system. However, in recent years, the term is commonly used to describe significant changes in global and regional climate driven by human activities. So particularly the burning of fossil fuel, deforestation, and industrial processes.
the effects of climate change are visible across the globe. Intense rainfall has made floods more frequent and severe, damaging homes and infrastructure. Rising global temperatures also cause glaciers to melt, contributing to higher sea levels that threaten coastal cities. Among the many impacts of climate change, one of the most direct and noticeable effects is heat waves.
Wave is a prolonged period of excessively high temperatures, often accompanied by high humidities relative to the average condition for a particular region and time of years.
The effects of heat waves are widespread and serious. To cope with these heat waves, people have started using various cooling methods driven by the environment. Air conditioning has become essential. Public places like malls and libraries often get crowded with people trying to escape the heat. However, the increased use of air conditioning drives up electricity demand. To meet this demand, power plants burn more fossil fuels, releasing additional greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These additional carbon emissions create a vicious cycle. More emissions worsen global warming, intensify heat waves, and make it harder to break free from the cycle. A heat wave is not just a natural disaster. It is a reflection of how our daily habits shape the environment. Heat waves stem not only from natural forces, but also from our everyday behaviors. The university campus is a microcosm of this reality, where electricity is omnipresent. Each flick of a switch, every charging cable carries unseen energy costs and hidden carbon emissions. In Malaysia, 81% of electricity comes from coal and natural gas, high carbon emission sources that dominate power generation. Coal accounts for 43% and natural gas nearly 37%. These energy giants drive our power grid while accelerating climate change. The journey begins with coal, transported to power plants from mines and storage facilities. Inside the plant's furnace, the coal is burned at extremely high temperatures, creating intense heat. This heat produces steam, which is used to drive massive turbines. This steam powers large turbines, which spin rapidly to produce electricity. As the process continues, the plant's chimneys release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This carbon pollution contributes to climate change, underscoring the need to rethink our energy system. The sun's energy reaches Earth as light and heat, providing the warmth of planet needs to support life. As sunlight hits the Earth's surface, it warms the land and oceans. Some of this heat is released back toward space as infrared radiation. However, greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor trap this escaping heat, bouncing it back to the surface, making the atmosphere thicker and trapping more heat. As a result, global temperatures continue to rise, disrupting the delicate balance that sustains life on Earth. With growing CO2 levels, heat waves are becoming more frequent and severe. They scorch cities and silently reshape the environment we depend on. As electricity demand soars, releasing vast amounts of carbon dioxide, the CO2 builds up, global temperature is rise, fueling more frequent and intense heat waves. In response to heat, people rely heavily on air conditioning, driving electricity usage even higher. This creates a feedback loop. Behind every glowing light lies environmental cost. These habits, though often unconscious, accumulate into significant threats to our future. Going back to our daily routine, do we remember the ways that we take for granted?
Thank you for waiting, ladies and gentlemen. We've invited first class now.
If we don't change, the ways of now will shape the environment of tomorrow. This is our not so distant future, a world shrouded in heat and desolation. What we just saw is a scientific simulation of a possible future scenario. This is not science fiction but a potential crisis caused by climate change.
Okay, climate change is a global crisis uh, where if we don't care about climate change, so this will cause more intense natural disasters in our world.
Now that we have seen the devastating impacts of heat waves on our future world, what solutions are being explored to address this pressing issue?
Okay, so to solve the climate change issue, so we have a new term we call geoengineering. So there are two types of geoengineering. One is we call carbon geoengineering or carbon removal technology, and another one is we call solar geoengineering. So for the carbon geoengineering, this is like a more common approach or a common technology that we normally heard, like we try to do some reforestation and try to reduce the carbon emissions to the atmosphere. And for solar geoengineering, so this is quite like an interesting idea after the volcano eruptions in 1991, where the Philippines volcanoes incident has emit the sulfate aerosols to the atmosphere, and these have reduced the earth temperatures. We are trying to mimic this phenomena by injecting some sulfate aerosol to our atmosphere, like introducing some like solar dimming technology, like build some like giant mirror in our space, so to reflect the solar radiation directly, or another one called SAI, the sulfate aerosol injections, like injecting the sulfate aerosol to the atmosphere by multiple airplane. So all these are still under research, and this might be one of the solutions to reduce the impact of global warming to our Earth system.
While governments around the world are taking critical steps to tackle climate change, it's important to remember that individual actions matter too. Each person has the power to make a difference. Solar energy is one of the cleanest energy sources. Its widespread use can significantly reduce carbon emissions.
So to reduce the climate change impact, I would advise you all to plant more trees. So from here you can see actually tree can help to reduce the surface temperature effectively.
While conserving water is crucial, it's equally important to think about other resources, like electricity that we rely on every day. Saving electricity is not just a money-saving habit, it's a way of life. Every unit of energy conserved is a step toward securing a better future for our planet. Let's start making changes today to protect the home we all depend on. It starts with us. Every small action we take to save energy brings us closer to a sustainable future. Together, we can make a difference, one step at a time.